Finney Rob here. Today we're going to be doing a solo playthrough of Mike Fitzgerald's Baseball Highlights the Dice Game. Now, I have done a previous video with the football version of this, and I will put a link up here for you to click on. In the solo version of the baseball game, you're going to play 6 rounds. It's my team, the subs, reminding you to subscribe to my channel, versus Hits Fitz, the AI. Hits Fitz does nothing but score runs. You'll see how the game works. You start by rolling all of the dice, and there's one for each player on your team, nine dice. The football version has 11 dice, so that's pretty cool. And you're going to be doing your basic roll and write stuff, which is marking off boxes, which let you chain other boxes with some cool little twists. The main one being that you have these bases like you would in baseball, and things like singles are going to put a runner on base. If you hit a double, you advance them to and put someone on second. If you know baseball at all, this is really, really intuitive and very cool and a quick game. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be taking my turn, and then I'm going to be taking what would be the non-active player turns in the multiplayer version of the game. It's round 1. First thing I do is I'm going to roll these 2 dice. This is the pitcher die, and this is going to indicate which box is going to be unavailable to hits this round to score runs from. Now, there's not a lot here in the walk box. This goes away. These are power dice, and the game tells you the first few times you play, you take one to start the game. But I have played it several times, and I've played the football version of it, and I think I want to try it without the power die to start. So I'm starting with no power dice. Now, what I do is I take one of these boxes, any one I want, and I take all of the dice and I place them in front of me, and then one at a time, I'm going to work my way down that row. Some things are going to give you a benefit, and here, I already know what I'm going to be doing. No matter what I do here, Fitz is going to score 3 runs, because at the end of my turn, I'm going to look and see which box has the most dice still in it. And assuming it's not the one with the cube in it, Fitz will be able to score 1 run for each die remaining. So here we know we have 2 boxes with 3 in them, and I can only take one of these away. I do think, though, I want to take the triples. Here's why. I'll show you why. So I'm going to take this, and I execute these one at a time. The first one, I fill this in here, nothing happens. Second one, this is a circle with a D in it, which is a chain. I get to fill in the first box of the double, which gets me nothing right now. And the third die, though, is the last die I'm using on my active turn, and it's in this triple box. The ones that have the diamonds on them would be what type of hit you would actually get. So a triple would be you put a guy on third base. However, when you have the star here, if it's the last die you use on your active turn or the last die you use on the non-active, which you haven't seen yet, you get to do this twice. Now, if you cross it with, say, your first, if I had crossed it with my first die, nothing would happen. I wouldn't even get a single triple, but because it's my last one, I actually get to do this twice. So I'm going to get 2 triples. So there's my first triple. And then my second triple is going to clear the bases and leave me with a runner on third. So I just scored a run. So I'm up 1-0. That's the end of my active turn. These dice remain in front of me, and they'll be available for me on the next turn, next round. Now I get to do the non-active player's turn, which in the regular game, multiplayer, you get to pick any 2 different boxes, and without removing any of the dice from them, you get to execute 1 die's mark for each of them. So I have everything available to me except for triples and stolen bases. I already got a double marked off from a combo. So if I do that now, I will get an actual double. This runner will score because they'll move 2 bases. So I'm going to do that. So the first non-active die I'm using is this double one. And I don't remove it. This runner advances 2 bases, which makes them score. And then I put another runner on second, who is the one who got the double. Now I get to use another box that is not this one So I can pick either a single, a home run, or a walk. Now, if the home runs stay like they are, next turn I would end up here. But if I take one now and these don't change, when it's my turn, I'll get to hit 2 home runs if there's only 3 dice remaining there. So I'm going to do that. That ends my turn. Now what I do is I look at this die. This is the pitcher die. This is going to affect the runners on base. The blank one means nothing happens, so this runner gets to stay there on this turn. If it was the 1, that means the lead runner would be removed, which would be this one because he's the only runner. Double play would mean if I had 2 runners on base, the 2 most advanced runners would be removed, and triple play means all runners would be removed. The only good thing besides a blank, and there are 2 of those, is this stolen base, which means at the end of the round, at the end of my turn, all runners would advance 1 base. So if this was the 1 for this round, this would move from second to third. And if they were all full, they would all advance, leaving first base open and another run scoring. But this time, nothing happens. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that to remind myself that's already happened. Now I look at the board and I look at the section that has the most dice in it, which obviously here is home run. Now I wish this red cube was here because that would mean even though it has the most, he couldn't use them and he would get 1 run, which is the most in any of these, but that's not how it is. There's 3 in home runs, so Fitz gets 3 runs in the first inning. These all stay here, and that's the end of the first round. Now these are the dice I'm going to be using for the next round, but we got to set it up first. First thing we do is we cross off second round. Then we roll the pitcher die again, and we figure out where this cube is going to end up moving to. Good news, we're going to get a stolen base, and more good news is now the home runs are not available for Fitz. So if they stay that way and I don't use home runs, he won't be able to score those runs there. He would get, at this point, only 1 run. So now I roll these. Well, I kind of wanted to have that 3rd home run remain there, even though it wouldn't help me when he scores runs, but now it would get me basically nothing because, again, if I don't stop there, I don't get any home runs, let alone doubles. Problem is, if I choose anything else, I'm going to only be moving 1 box. But he's only going to get 1 run regardless. So let's see if there's anything that helps me out at all. A double lets me mark off a triple box. So the best I can do here is mark off 2 at this first one. All right, I'm going to take the walk, believe it or not. I'm going to take the walk, and that's all I do for my active dice. Yeah, well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to save the home run for next time. So I'm going to use the walk. That's it for my active turn. Now I'm going to take I get 2 boxes I can use, including the home run box if I want. So yeah, I'm going to use the home run box. I don't take the dice away, but that lets me combo this clutch hit here in the walk box. The W with the circle around it means I get to combo that. So I used home run to advance that. I get nothing here with the clutch hits, but the further up you get, the better it gets. I get 1 more that I can use. Single gets me nothing. Double lets me cross off the triple box. Triple gets me nothing by itself, and single gets me nothing. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the double. And that lets me cross off the triple box. And that was my second non-active player die. Now it's time to do the stolen bases. I didn't get anyone else on base, but this one gets to advance. I'll take this away. That's the end of my turn. Fitz gets to go. And he doesn't get to use that box, so the most in any one box is 1. He gets 1 run. Not terrible. I'm hoping to set up something big here towards the end so you can see some cool combos. So that's the end of that round. Now we move on to round 3. And all I get to roll is this 1 die. But first I have to see what's available to him. Well, home run's still blocked, so that's good for me. And nothing bad's going to happen to this runner. Now, if I roll a home run here, this is going to be pretty good for me either way. All right, so it's a single. So I either can take 2 singles. Again, that would get him, he'll end up with 1 run. Or I can take these 4 home runs, 1, 2, 3, 4. At some point, I'm going to have to do that because I need more dice to roll here. All right, because then he'd get 2 runs. Well, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take these 4. First one, mark off a clutch hit. Second one, nothing, because this is not my last die to be used here. Third one gets me nothing. Fourth one lets me mark off the walk box. And that actually gets me this combo here because that was my last die. So now I get to do 2 walks. First walk, this runner doesn't advance because it only has to force them. Second walk, this one moves up, so now I've got the bases loaded. And that's it for my active turn. Now, if there's a way for me to get a single here by using one of these, either a single, double, or a triple, and I actually could do that because a triple would get me a clutch hit, which would get me a single, which would get me 1 run. Single gets me nothing, double gets me nothing. So I guess what I'll do is I will use the triple for my first one. That marks off a clutch hit. We'll do that. I would get a hit. Every runner advances 1, so I'll show you 1, 2, 3, and then of course the hitter. This run scores, so now I'm losing 4-3. And I use the triple, so I can either use the single or double. It doesn't matter. I'm going to use the single, I think. Get me up, so good stuff will start happening up here. So that's it for my turn. Nothing bad happens to my runners. And now we look to Fitz. He's got 2 there, so he scores 2 more runs. So now he's beat me 6-3 halfway through the game. And I still don't have a single power die to block him. But I do have 4 dice to roll this time. So we move on to round 4. Again, we're playing 6. I need to roll these 2. Again with the stolen base, that's good. And now he can't avail himself of the double box. All right, so I roll all of these. A walk, a homer, another homer, and another single. So now, by advancing my singles, this is going to work out for me here. I'm going to get some runs. I'm going to take the singles. First one gets me a stolen base combo. Second one, I advance on the clutch hit. Third one is my last die for my active turn, and I cross this off, which gives me 2 singles. So single number 1, all the runners advance. This run scores. The hitter makes it to first as well. The next batter gets another single. 1, 2, 3, scores me a run. This one goes away. Now we have bases loaded still. And we have this stolen base, so they're all going to advance 1 at the end of my turn. That's it for my active turn. Now I get to use 2 boxes without removing dice. See if there's anything good here. Well, if I take the triple box, I can get a power die, which is going to be what I'm going to do with the first one. So you'll see how power dice work. Second die, I can use a double, a homer, a walk, or a stolen base. I'm going to take the stolen base, and that's going to let me advance up on the single here one more time, which gets me nothing now, but it gets me good stuff in the future. So that's it for my turn. I have to use this. They all advance 1, 1, 2, 3, so I get another run. Now the game's tied, and these runners get to stay. Now, because I do have a power die, I actually get to roll it right now to see which of these boxes, if any, I will get those dice too. So we'll see. I want a home run here if I can get it. I got the double, not terrible. This die comes to me, even though he wasn't going to be able to use it. I get them for next round. If it had been the homer, it would have kept him to only 1 run this inning. But this die, the power die, doesn't stay there. In the multiplayer game, these allow, you're going to roll them, and I will get to roll them with my dice next time. You get to use them when you're the active player, and then when you're done, they go away if they were unused. So that's pretty helpful. Now it's his time to score. He's going to get 2 more runs because that box has 2. So now he's back in the lead, 8-6, and we have 2 innings remaining. Into round 5. First thing we do is see where the pitcher, triple play. So if I don't get these runners off base here, they're going to be off base anyway. This comes here to show me that the cube goes there, then this gets removed. Now I roll all of the dice plus my 1 power die and see what happens here. Triples are looking pretty good here. And this won't be here for him to score. Well, it won't matter anyway if I take them. But if I don't take them, there'll only be 2 remaining in that box because my power dice go away at the end of my turn. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and take the triple box. Yeah, we'll take the triple box. So I get these 3. One at a time. We'll use this one first. 1. 2. This does not have the star next to it, so I can use it with my second die, but I only get 1 triple, which is great because that scores me 2 runs, and the batter ends up on third. So I have 2 more runs. So now the game is tied again. Third one is a combo with the circle with the D, which lets me cross off the double box. Now I take the non-active player turn. So I think I'm going to be able to do something decent here. First thing I'm going to do is take the double. I cross this off. It's a clutch hit that gets me a double. So this runner would advance 2, which gets me a run. The batter would get to second base. Now for my second non-active die, I am going to use the stolen base, which is my last die in the non-active phase. So I get to do this twice, which means stolen base, I get another run. So now I'm up 10-8. That's the end of my active turn. Triple play isn't going to hurt me because I have no runners on base, so that was pretty efficient. Now I get to roll this, and if I roll a home run, well, it's not going to matter. Either way, he's going to get 2 runs. I got the walk, which just gets me this die here. This will come back to be used when it's my turn, and Fitz is going to score 2 runs. He's sneaky, so he'll get them from the stolen bases. And now the game's tied again, going into the last inning. How exciting is this? I'm having a good time at least. Don't forget to subscribe, by the way. All right. Going into the last round, we're going to see where the cube rolls. Come on, make it a home run or stolen bases. Yeah, so it's going to singles, and the lead runner will be eliminated, which isn't really going to hurt me that bad because this is the last time I get to go. Now, there is extra innings. There are no extra innings, actually, in the solo. A tie will go to Fitz, so. All right. Well, I do get to roll these. I've got my power die. So let's see if we get something good here. I need a couple of runs to have a chance. Walk, stolen base, and doubles. So doubles. So right now, unless the power die I roll, or I can actually get another power die that will help me block maybe 2. The best I'm looking at here likely is him scoring 2 runs. Worst scenario, he gets 3. So either I need to get 4 runs somehow, which is going to be really tough. Let's see here. Is there anything good? Well, if I wait to use the double on my non-active turn, I would get a run automatically from that. And if I could get some runners on base before that, like with these stolen bases, I might be able to get more. Single doesn't do me any good, and home run unlocks a power die and lets me mark off another box, which could get me a single. This gets me a clutch hit, which gets me really nothing. Interesting. I think I have to take one of the ones with 3 on them though, just in case. So I think what I'll do here is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to take the stolen bases. We're going to do them one at a time. First one gets me my second power die, which we'll remember to roll. I'll move it over here just so we can remember. Second one gets me a clutch hit, which really isn't going to do me much good, I don't think. Then the last one gets us a stolen base, which really gets us nothing. All right. Now, though, I get to execute 2 of these. Home run lets me fill in any other thing. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take, the first one's going to be home run because I want to save my second one, my last die in the non-active phase for this double. So the home run's going to let me mark off any one box. And I think what I'm going to do is get me a single. So that puts a runner on first. Then I'm going to execute the double twice because it's the last die in this phase. So the first double, this runner is going to go 1, 2, and this runner is going to get to second. And the second double is going to have both of those score, which puts me in the lead and leaves me a runner on second. Now, the runner on second, that's the end of my turn. The runner on second is the lead runner, and the 1 means the lead runner gets removed. So he took too big of a lead, he's out. But I'll go ahead and remove that. Now I have 2 power dice. This comes away. I have 2 power dice and I get to roll them. Here's how it's going to work. So right now I have 12. He has 10. I need to roll a home run and a double. Otherwise, it's going to be a tie game and ties go to hits. So I left myself in a bad position. And you can tell me in the comments how I could have done this better, but I don't know. All right, let's see if we can get lucky. It is a dice game. Let's put the dice in baseball highlights the dice game. Home run and a double. Come on. A double. So all of these come back to me. And a walk, which does nothing. Fitz can't use this box, but he can use this one. And he has 12. 12, 12. I think ties go to Fitz. I will check just to be sure. Hits Fitz wins if he has more runs or ties. Wow, that was really close, but he beat me. Sad, sad, sad. Well, that is the solo baseball highlights the dice game. Sorry I didn't win. Thank you for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel.